Did you know that 7 out of 10 Americans believe Trump's actions towards Ukraine were unethical? We're diving into the interview that sparked this outrage. I'm your host, Uncle Delicious, and we're about to dive into the biggest takeaways from this highly anticipated conversation. Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky. The conversation sparked a flurry of reactions from politicians, pundits, and the public. Let's dive into the key takeaways and implications of this significant exchange. On Friday, 28th of February 2025, Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky sat down at the White House reportedly turned into a public altercation, resulting in Zelensky's abrupt departure without signing the anticipated agreement on minerals, a conversation that covered a range of topics, including Ukraine's ongoing conflict with Russia, corruption allegations, and the US-Ukraine relationship. Trump emphasized the need for Ukraine to address corruption and reform its institutions. He also reiterated his commitment to supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Zelensky, meanwhile, highlighted Ukraine's progress in fighting corruption and its efforts to strengthen its military. He also expressed gratitude for US support and emphasized the importance of continued cooperation between the two nations. So, what did we learn from this interview? And what are the implications for US-Ukraine relations and the broader geopolitical landscape? One key takeaway is that Trump's comments on corruption in Ukraine reflect a long-standing concern among US policymakers. However, some critics argue that Trump's emphasis on corruption has been inconsistent and at times politically motivated. Another important point is that Zelensky's responses highlighted Ukraine's efforts to address corruption and strengthen its institutions. However, Ukraine still faces significant challenges in these areas, and the international community will be watching closely to see how the country progresses. The interview also underscored the complexities of US-Ukraine relations. While Trump has been criticized for his handling of Ukraine policy, the US has provided significant support to Ukraine in recent years. The continued cooperation between the two nations will depend on a range of factors, including Ukraine's progress on reform and the US's commitment to supporting its allies. So, what are the broader implications of this interview? How might it impact US foreign policy and the global balance of power? One possible implication is that the interview could further strain US relations with Russia. Trump's comments on Ukraine's corruption and his emphasis on supporting Ukraine's sovereignty may be seen as a challenge to Russia's influence in the region. Another possible implication is that the interview could impact the US's relationships with other European nations. Trump's handling of Ukraine policy has been criticized by some European leaders, and the interview may have reinforced concerns about US reliability and commitment to its allies. In conclusion, the interview between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky provided valuable insights into the complexities of US-Ukraine relations and the broader geopolitical landscape. While the conversation highlighted areas of cooperation and shared interest, it also underscored the challenges and tensions that remain. As we move forward, it will be important to continue monitoring developments in US-Ukraine relations and to consider the implications for US foreign policy and the global balance of power. I'm your host, Uncle Delicious. Let's watch the interview together.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Yes. You think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait
answer?
a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. you have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $300 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
Yes.
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You
if
invited
you
me to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
It wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what.
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means.
That was
Wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. Without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks it? Can the station right
What are you
now?
saying?
What
She's
if
asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, 50 Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. He had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. He went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia, 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
What do you think about the Trump-Zelensky interview? Join the conversation in the comments below and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay up to date, be sure to subscribe to our channel.